The Supreme Court has reversed the sack of Abba Kabir Yusuf as Kano governor. Justice John Okoro, who read the lead judgment, said the court has said the Court of Appeal was wrong in affirming the decision of the tribunal, which held that Yusuf did not win the majority of lawful votes cast at the governorship election. In determining the cases, the Apex Court raised two issues: whether the lower court was right in deducting the 165,616 votes of the governor. Justice Okoro held that the tribunal was wrong in deducting the votes accrued to the governor. And now our reporter in Kano State, Idris Jibrin, is joining us to give an update on the reactions in the state. Good afternoon, Idris.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. So, where are you now, and how are the Kano people reacting to this verdict?
Well, actually, Sumaya, early this morning, I told you that Kano police is deserted. People could not out. But following the announcement of the judgment by the Supreme Court, you can see the streets of Kano behind me right now on Two Road. Hundreds and thousands of people started coming out, celebrating, jubilating over this victory that was declared in favor of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State of the new Nigeria People's Party. So right now, what was started like anxiety and tension early this morning has now turned into celebration across the commercial city of Kano, because I can tell you, wherever you go in Kano this afternoon, even though it's Friday, it's almost time where people are going to mosque, but you can see thousands, hundreds of people coming out in celebration of this judgment. So people are happy. They have turned out in mass, even though the governor is yet to arrive to Kano, but hundreds of people have actually turned out in mass to celebrate this judgment. And contrary to what many people are expecting, probably after the announcement, there will be some kind of crisis there and then. But I can tell you, as of this moment, nothing as such has started happening in Kano except celebration and jubilation in all streets across the commercial city of Kano.
So Idris, you must have spoken to a few people, right? So what are the people saying about this judgment?
Actually, what the people here on the streets of Kano are saying, they have, most of them, some of them, they have never anticipated that this is what is going to happen, considering the ruling of the tribunal and then the subsequent one by the appeal court. But then they are hopeful and optimistic that they will get this. So most people on the streets of Kano are saying that they are very happy, and they believe that the judicial system in the country is now working, where someone will lose at the tribunal, lose at the appeal court, and then wins at the Supreme Court. They believe that the nation's judicial system is actually working, and that the Supreme Court has done actually what the people wanted it to do. That is looking at both sides and see who actually wins this election and give it to him. So the people are actually, they are saying they are actually very happy with this judgment.
Indeed, it was an unexpected outcome. But, you know, has the security situation changed? Because you mentioned that the agitation and fear is not, so you're not sensing it at all. But would you say that you've seen any changes from the security before?
Well, as of this moment, I have, like people, apart from the jubilation that people are celebrating, but I have seen heavy deployment of security personnel in all strategic places, because you never can tell what will happen in the next couple of minutes. But then the security officials are on the alert to forestall any eventualities as people go about their celebration. But in terms of breaking law and order, nothing as such has happened so far in the commercial city of Kano.
Well, we hope it stays that way. Thank you so much, Idris Jibrin, for that the update. At the end of the day, a win for Kano is a win for all. Thank you. All right, moving on from that, still on the litigation of the Supreme Court, it has dismissed the appeal of Badebo Road's Vivor of the Labour Party against the election of Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the All Progressive Congress as the governor of Lagos State. The Apex Court affirmed the judgment of the Court of Appeal Lagos, dismissing the appeal for lacking in merit. Justice Garba Lawal prepared and read the lead judgment in the Lagos State governorship dispute. Other justices who made up the panel for Lagos justices are Justice Inyango Koro, Justice Emmanuel Agim, Justice Abba Aji, Justice Ademo Jauro are reading their version, and it's a unanimous decision. They say the petition is a gross abuse of court process. In the meantime, the Supreme Court has also affirmed the election of Bala Mohammed of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, as the Bauchi State Governor. The Apex Court affirmed the decision of the Court of Appeal and dismissed the appeal by Sadiq Abubakar of the All Progressive Congress for lacking in merit. The Supreme Court is the center of attractions as the Apex Court delivers judgment on 8 governorship elections, including some of the controversial cases like Kano, Plateau, and Zamfara State. Trust TV Sagir Ibrahim speaks to some supporters from the different states as to how the day is shaping up at the Apex Court.
I'm in a garden right now. The location, it's in front of the Ministry of Women Affairs, just opposite the Court of Appeal. Standing around me are supporters of different candidates across the different states who currently have their Supreme Court verdict, which is going to be announced today. Most prominently among me, you see people adorning white traditional attires and red caps. Most likely the supporters of the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf. Of course, there are other supporters who are here. We can see some others, if you can, people adorning green caps. Those are the supporters of the governor of Plateau State, Governor Caleb Muftuang, who also has a contention here at the Supreme Court. Well, tensions are quite high, the expectations quite high as well. Some have expressed with excitement that they know that, well, the Supreme Court case is going to go in the favor of their candidate, mostly because they feel that he has delivered enough in terms of evidence to prove their case in the court. Of course, we spoke to some of them, and these were some of their reactions.
And with what you can see here, all the people that are here from Plateau, they are here to just collect the good news. And we are confident in the Supreme Court because we know from what we had, they will stand and work on the law. But we believe that the Supreme Court will come back and give the people their mandate.
Yeah, our expectation is very positive. Kano people will start celebrating the victory of Abba Kabir Yusuf.
I have no doubt. He has been elected by the people, and this is a clear elections. He won the elections, and you can see from the tribunal. The tribunal affirmed his elections. It's only in the appeal court. There are some other wards where they said we should go and do election. That is by election again. So I have no doubt. As far as Zamfara, we have no doubt.
I don't want to go into details because the judgment is still ongoing. And I don't want any of my speech to influence whatever that is ongoing. So I leave it for the panel to decide it. But however, according to the new electoral law, it favors our candidate, High Chief Ikeche Emenike, and that is why we are here, and that is what we are expecting.
Kano, Plateau, Zamfara, Bauchi, Abia, Lagos, Cross River, and Ebonyi are the 8 states whose judgment is going to be delivered today following the conclusion of its governorship election adjudication, which started at the state level after the March 18 governorship election. It is left to be seen as judgment is going to go, whether for or against the petitioners. Only time will tell, of course. From around the Supreme Court area in front of the Ministry of Women Affairs, Sagir Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Still on the litigation matters, breaking news reaching us in our studio now. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Dauda Lawal of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, as Zamfara State Governor. The Apex Court set aside the Court of Appeal's Abuja decision, which had declared the governorship election as inconclusive and ordered a rerun in 3 local government areas of the state. Away from that, in security, the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kaduna State strongly condemns what it describes as extrajudicial killings, maiming, outright stealing, looting, extortion, unlawful intrusion and harassment of law-abiding Fulbe youths in Tilde Fulbe community and other areas of the Laduga Grazing Reserve in Kachia local government area of Kaduna State. In a press statement issued yesterday in Kaduna, the chairman of Magban, Kaduna State Chapter, Haruna Usman Tuga, alleges that the association received concerning information regarding this incident involving Nigerian military personnel from the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Navy Armament Technology School of Artillery, all located in Kachia. According to Magban, it conducted an emergency executive meeting to investigate the matter, dispatching members of the affected areas. The findings revealed disturbing details of the alleged event spanning 3 to 4 weeks ago, particularly on December 30th, 2023. Tuga emphasizes the need for a thorough investigation into the triggers, remote causes, perpetrators, and names of the victims. He calls upon President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Obasani of Kaduna State to intervene, hold the implicated military personnel accountable, and provide compensation to the families of the victims. Meanwhile, in a swift reaction, the headquarters of one division has refuted claims of the Nigerian Army's involvement in the arrest and killing of 11 Fulani individuals, along with accusations of raiding their houses and theft. The division emphasizes the Army's commitment to the rule of law, human rights, and its representations of all Nigerian people. They clarify that recent military actions were in response to a kidnapping incident and subsequent revelation of insurgent activities within a community. The division denied engaging in extrajudicial killings or theft, labeling the accusations as a smear campaign aiming to undermine their efforts in addressing insurgency and terrorism. Lieutenant Colonel Musa Yahya, Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations for 1 Division Nigerian Army, urges the public to disregard the malicious allegations and encourages the continued cooperation with security agencies to combat terrorism and criminal activities in the area of responsibilities. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army says it has identified and arrested 2 of its personnel who were involved in the brutality of a civilian in Rivers State, as seen in a viral video making the rounds on social media. The spokesperson of the 6th Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Danjuma Jonah Danjuma, who disclosed this in a statement, said no form of infraction would be condoned for erring personnel. It added that the General Officer Commanding GOC 6th Division Nigerian Army and Land Component Commander of the Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe, Major General Jamal Abdul Salam, has directed that a full-scale investigation be conducted immediately. He further reassured that no stone will be left unturned at sanctioning those involved. The Army encouraged members of the public to continue to provide credible information on such unprofessional conduct, as the division is poised to be more responsive to the public, noting that this is one unfortunate isolated case that will be expeditiously dealt with. The Lagos State chapter of the Nigerian Bar Association on Wednesday organized a peaceful protest against alleged police brutality in the state. The protest, which followed the brutalization of one of its members, Olumide Shonupe, at Mosholasi police station in Lagos, began at the Bar Center and terminated at the police headquarters in Ikeja. Victoria Tokolo sent in this report.
All 5 branches of the Nigerian Bar Association in Lagos State came together for peaceful protest against police brutality on their member, as well as on other citizens in the state and in the country at large. The protest was led by human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. They demand for a thorough investigation into the case of their member, Olumide Shonupe, who was detained for 3 days at the police station over a civil matter.
The NBA wants a full investigation of the incident in the station, and happily the Commissioner of Police announced today that a high-power investigation is already ongoing. He also indicated that lawyers should be prepared to be members of the committee, since the police have nothing to hide. So after the report, we are also taking certain steps, or beside the report, the NBA is filing an action, in court to protect the human rights of our colleague, and to make a point that If anything of that nature happens to any lawyer, again, the Nigerian Bar Association will take it up.
And so we're not coming out because it is our colleague that is involved. We're saying that when you go into a police station, as a Nigerian, you have a right to be treated in the most civil manner that you deserve. You cannot go in there and they're subjecting you to all form of harassment. They tell you to drop your phone at the entrance. I mean, if you're not doing anything in your station that is unholy, why are you asking us to drop our phones? Why are you asking us to drop our phones?
Other members of the association also voiced their displeasure with the manner police personnel harass legal practitioners.
Why we as lawyers have to come together to say police are actually supposed to work together with us, or we are supposed to work with them to be able to bring justice. So for us being treated the way that they are doing, maybe molesting most of us at the police station, is not right. That is why we as lawyers, we have to come together today to say no to this. We are against this brutality. We want us to work together as one.
The victim, Olumide Shonupe, in an interview, narrated his ordeal with the police.
I just want justice to be done. I want them to be brought to book. Both IPO Grace, the area commander, and the DPO, even the DCO, they should be brought to book because the injustice, because I was in a cell with about five other cellmates, and all their cases were all purely civil matter. And they were telling me they've been there for 3-4 days. So the injustice is not only meted to me, it was meted to a lot of other people, ranging from the carpenter, the electrician, and so many other people.
The association later presented a petition to the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayoade, who promised to work together with the association to avert a recurrence in the future.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, Nigerians react to President Tinubu's 60% travel expenses cuts. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
Join us for the 21st Daily Trust Dialogue and presentation of the 2023 African of the Year. This year's theme, Tinubu's economic reforms, gainers and losers, will be chaired by Dr. Shamsuddin Usman, former Minister of National Planning. Guest speakers, Wale Edun, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy. Dr. Victoria Akai, Immediate Past Director General, Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Comrade Joe Ajero, President, Nigeria Labour Congress. This event takes place at NAF Conference Center and Suites, Kado Expressway, Abuja on Thursday, 25th of January 2024, 10 a.m. Attendance is free, and you can watch the live broadcast on Star Times, Channel 164 or Nicomsat free to air. For sponsorship, branding, and participation, please contact 081-5176-4600 or 080-3392-8902. Don't miss this insightful dialogue shaping the economic landscape in Nigeria.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. We brought you Supreme Court reverses the sack of Kano State's Governor Yusuf, affirms his election. And Magban demands probe on extrajudicial killings as military denies allegations. Now moving on to more stories. Despite claims by the central bank that there is enough money in circulation, the traders at Kumo Market in Gombe State who rely on cash for transactions have been lamenting the unavailability of cash for their daily business activities. Trust TV's Hassan Lawan Koli, who visited the market, reports that the merchants there are taking deliberate steps to address the cash shortage, which they say is affecting their grade or trade in grains. The report.
This is the entrance of Kumo Grain Market in Akwa local government area of Gombe State. Here, the trading of grains has changed dimension since the introduction of cashless policy by the federal government in early 2023. Merchants are refocusing on sourcing cash at provision stores and filling stations as they are not able to withdraw much from commercial banks. The process of getting cash is hard. You have to be going here and there looking for cash from local traders, because if you go to banks, they will not give you enough, and you can only get 20,000 at ATMs. If you go to POS operators, they will charge you 10,000 on every 1 million naira, which is like giving away your profit, and that means we are earning less, if not running at loss. We are not getting money from banks for now, and POS operators are unable to give us the amount of money we need to run our business. The challenge is that people that patronize this market do not accept bank transfers, while some do not even have a bank account. One of the leaders at the market said although the cash crunch has negatively affected their trading, they are however encouraging members to adopt e-payment as an alternative. Cash scarcity is not affecting us as much as it did before, because some people are gradually accepting e-payments, with the exception of those from villages and far places that have not embraced e-payment. This entire scenario at the market is contrary to the claims by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, that there is enough cash in circulation. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Nigerians have been reacting to President Tinubu's 60% travel expenditures cut for all government officials, including the presidency. President Tinubu's decision comes barely 2 months after he was criticized for Nigeria's large delegation at the COP28 summit in Dubai. Ibrahim Ismail has more.
Last year, Nigeria had at least 1,411 delegates at the COP28 summit in Dubai, making the country's delegation the third largest after UAE and Brazil. After much criticism, the presidency insisted that public funds were not used to fund the entire delegates, pointing out that the delegation included representatives of private organizations. Be that as it may, the president's latest move to cut travel expenses of top government officials by 60% has elicited mixed reactions amongst concerned Nigerians.
It's a very welcome development. You know, when you see the situation of our economy in the country now, and you see a lot of government officials, you know, traveling with a lot of people following them, and each of them will be given a specific amount of money after the traveling. I think this is actually killing our economy in Nigeria.
But the decision of the Mr. President is a good development to entire country. This is what we are even expecting a good leader to show. And we have seen a good step that is even making, because a lot of expensive of this travel is affecting the economies and affecting the masses of this country.
While most Nigerians say slashing travel expenditure of all government officials, including presidency, by 60% is a good decision, others cast doubt on government's ability to implement the policy.
It's not all about making the decision or introducing the policy. It's all about making some intentional, attempts to make sure other things come to reality. It's not just talking, mere talking.
We are not talking of cutting expenses. Expenses is very good. It's a very good exercise policy. But what we are saying is, all those money that have been stolen, what is government doing with it? That's what we are saying.
Speaking on Trust TV's breakfast show, Daybreak, former Nigerian Senator Sheikh Hussaini said cutting travel expenses for government officials by 60% is not all that required to reduce the cost of governance to the barest minimum in the country.
Cutting the travel expenses by 60% is an appreciable step, but it is talkism. It has to go beyond that. It has to go across all areas, sectors, and spheres where the federal government or those in the position of authority are wasting public funds.
Announcing the new travel policy, the presidency cut the number of persons to travel with the president on local trips to 25, while 20 persons will accompany the number one citizen on foreign trips. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
On a foreign scene, over 300 people have lost their lives due to extensive flooding in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Congo Republic in recent months. Officials report that the Congo River has reached its highest level in over 60 years, attributing to the disaster of climate change, leading to increased rainfall frequency. The resulting flash floods, exacerbated by poor urban design and inadequate infrastructure, have impacted several African nations. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.